position in American sports feels the pressure or the weight on their shoulders like a quarterback. Hopes and dreams of an entire fan base of teams ride on whether their signal caller can lead them to glory. And boy, what a matchup of two elite dudes we have in this one. Welcome to the home of the Florida State Seminoles, Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. As we'll see the runner-up from last year's national championship, the Clemson Tigers, taking on one of the participants from last year's playoff, the Florida State Seminoles. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollack with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. Clemson will kick off to get us underway. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. Back to throw, it's Glenn. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete.
You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this.
Turning it off! They'll get it to the 48, no need to measure it to first down.
Well, that's why this running game can be so dynamic. This guy is special when he has the football in his hands. He can make people miss, he can run with power, and he also has speed. You saw it on that last play.
And the Noles just got that huge run. They love another explosive play. Gets the back moving. Wants to go up top on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Gibson. He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it, and they're short of the first down.
Hey, listen, on offense, just take what the defense gives you. Quarterback looks out wide, he sees the DB way off of the receiver. Throw him the easy hitch pass, you'll take that completion.
Motion from the wide out. Second down, they'll go to the air. Intercepted, and the first drive ends with a pick.
That is the perfect start for a defense that has really struggled against the pass this season. They're in the bottom portion, okay? Have struggled, but opening drive, making a statement. Maybe this creates some momentum. Maybe this turns the tide for this defense.
This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Looking for space, it's Davidson. Nice move there. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup. The emotions and energy figure to be high all day, guys, because of what's at stake this late in the season. Really a must-win for both teams.
And these are the ones that get your blood moving, Reese. You get jacked up, man. We don't have to say anything in the locker room, give these big speeches. You know what's at stake, Jesse. You're ready to rock and roll. This is when you prove you're the big dog.
Which is pretty cool, too, because it's been a long season. And these teams obviously are both physically and mentally tired, but you're right. For this kind of game, this is the one you circled at the start of the year. You knew that this was going to matter. There was going to be a lot on the line. Now it's time to go out and prove you're the better team. Well, it's a nice job by the quarterback getting the ball out of his hands quickly on that RPO. He saw something he liked, just not on the same page with his receiver.
They're bringing the chop. They're bringing the noise on third down at the Doak. Balls and fired complete. Past the 30. Oh, he's getting ahead of stick. Touchdown, Tigers. Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. And it feels good to land that first big punch against a rival, doesn't it?
No doubt. In a game like this, too, you just want to be executing it at a high level early. So, David, that's got to feel great getting on the board first.
And settles everyone down. All the nerves, all the emotion of this rivalry game. Now everybody can kind of settle in because you know you already got a touchdown on the board.
Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. Give to the running back. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1. Let's take a second here to talk about Florida State. Really interesting matchup here. It's always fun when the top two teams in the conference get to square off in the regular season. With all the expansion, it's become a little bit of a rarity, hasn't it?
It has. Obviously, there's so many teams in each conference, but head-to-head still very much matters. So if you're sitting, obviously, at the top like these teams are, the head-to-head this day will really matter down the road.
Yeah, this was a game we circled way back in the preseason, expecting these two teams to be as good as they are, and now we get to find out who's the best in conference. Both these teams relishing this opportunity to show not only their opponent, but the rest of the conference who the top dog is.
The give from the gun. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going, handing the ball off.
And the Seminoles with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Scanning the field, it's Glenn. Unloads to the right. That's reeled in, it's Richardson. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
QBs and wide receivers spend all offseason together throwing the football in air. I mean, really developing that chemistry and timing. Understanding, I get man coverage, I'm throwing this to you right now.
Grab near the marker, it's Gibson. Third down conversions are huge, and they've got one, and they're at the 35. Third and short, and I guess the only thing they really took out of play in the shotgun was the quarterback sneak.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I like to do, Reese. I mean, 3rd and inches, I want to run the quarterback sneak, run the football, but this team fully comfortable throwing the football, and you see why. Easy pitch, easy catch, first down.
And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down. Now, I know you two never faced off against each other in an actual rivalry game other than the Thanksgiving morning Turkey Bowl. But knowing you two the way I do and the way you know each other, Jesse, what would you have done to try to throw Pollock off a little bit on a stage like this?
In our opening 10-play script, I would have had David Pollock cut blocked, maybe even double-team high-load, chop blocked on every single play early.
Which is illegal, you bum. That's fine. But that's fine. You know what? I guess in retaliation to that, we would have just roughed the passer over and over, taking the 15-yard penalty. That's what's fun about this, Reese. It's petty. It's sometimes it crosses the line of dirty, but that's why rivalries are so fun.
Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. He wants to throw it again. Got it in the middle, it's Gibson. And he rolls into the end zone. Touchdown, no! These two guys, they just shared a glance, and they knew exactly what to do there.
And how many times do we hear that? The quarterback talk about it after the game and go, hey, I just looked at him. He knew what I saw. I knew what he saw. We're on the same page. We've done this before. That chemistry equals big plays.
Extra point here would tie the game. And the extra point was good to finish things off. After that last score. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. They saw what happened on that last scoring drive, and now probably feeling a little bit of heat to answer. Good, solid run on that one as he gets it up to the 33-yard line.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
The Tigers in a good spot here with second and short. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. And he'll have enough for the first down at the 42.
There's a really nice play there. The thing I like about this guy, too, his versatility. He's not just good running the ball, but he can catch and he can block. And you think about all the greats they've had at the position in recent years. Versatility at the running back position, being an every down back. And that's exactly what this guy embodies.
They'll snap this one from the 42. It's first and 10. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Bennett. Big play. Takes him into plus territory. He's out of bounds at the 47.
Defense, what are we doing? How are you going to let that guy, one of the best receivers in the entire country, be wide open like that? You're just making it way too easy for the offense.
The Tigers have it with a first and 10. Power football with the run. Picks up the first down, still moving. All by himself down the middle. Touchdown, Clemson. He found some open space and turned on the Jets.
This is a guy that put a lot of pressure on himself coming into this season. He felt like he was ready to have a breakout year. He knew he had all the tools in the toolbox to be able to get it done, and he's showing it. That's his 10th rushing touchdown on the season.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, a couple of Mountain West teams colliding in a game that could have some implications. New Mexico has the lead right now, but if this team has taught us anything over the years, it's that no lead is safe inside University Stadium. They're up by 7 over San Diego State. Just another week in the Mountain West where the only constant is chaos, fellas.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Back to pass, it's Glenn. Fires to the wideout. Boy, did that one have revolutions on it, but it's incomplete.
And this defense, we know, they present a lot of challenges. And you could see it right there, man. They shrink windows fast. They're a top 25 defense for a reason. You really better make sure you're dialed in today, or else they can make you pay in a hurry.
After the incompletion, it's second and 10 from their own 25. Couldn't connect on first down, now back to the air. This one's complete. Stopped him at the 41, but that's a big pickup of 15.
Well, you you can tell those two have been practicing the out route all off-season long. They look like they could have completed that in their sleep.
The offense lines up at the 41 with a 1st and 10. They'll leave it with him. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Got 3 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 7. Wants to go up top. Throws to the wideout. Incomplete, and he threw that one up for grabs and into traffic, and fortunate to get it back.
Man, this quarterback is living dangerously right now, guys. Of course, we're only in the 1st quarter. This guy's already thrown 1 pick. He should have thrown his 2nd right there.
Let's see what they find in the playbook for 3rd and long from the 43. Dropping back, it's Glenn. Snagged out of the air. At the 35, he's open. Still on his feet. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a 1st down.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that play.
They'll throw it from the red zone. Catch in the middle, it's Lockwood. Touchdown, Seminoles! All that way the end and then strolled into the end zone for the score.
And I like this offense. They didn't panic. A lot of times you see offenses panic and want to get back in it when they're down really quickly, and they forced the issue. They stayed patient. They stayed within themselves, and we're an extra point away from being a tied football game.
Setting up for the extra point and the tie. And the extra point is good. All tied up and just about set to kick it away. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Looking to throw on 1st down. Just a little bit too much juice on that one as the freshman was taking a shot. Four wide out set, 2 on either side on 2nd and 10. Looking to fire. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away.
Man, you are rolling the dice every time you throw this guy's way. He's one of the best corners in the entire country. Everybody has their eye on him every single game. He does a great job breaking on that ball and forcing the incompletion.
Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's coming.
Well, the defense finally has figured it out. That was critical for their confidence because they had been scored on earlier. They'd given up a ton of yards. I think they understood the gravity of the situation. 3rd down, that was critical for them to get off the field, build momentum, build some confidence. Nice job that time by the defense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Wants to throw. It's Glenn. Fires to the right. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum.
Man, another mistake by this. Listen, he is an elite quarterback. He's really, really good. He's pressing too much. Jesse, the number one job of a quarterback, you better protect the football. I don't care how good you are, you better protect it.
Yeah, you just got to take what the defense is giving you, and I agree, David. It looks like right now he's trying to force the big play instead of just checking it down or throwing away. He's got to do a better job working through his progressions right now. He's got tons of talent. He's making bad decisions.
Yeah, he does a really good job being decisive, getting downhill, being a great runner. And guess what? You know, easy offenses, when you get me in second and short, second medium, everything in the playbook is open to him.
They have set the tone in this one already inside a minute to play in a wild first quarter. That one never had a chance. Incomplete. This quarterback needs to stay true to his mechanics. He just sort of heaved it up off the back foot.
And these mechanics are crazy. You see all these quarterbacks on the field with towels before games and doing that little salsa thing that you see quarterbacks with their hips, you know, popping through. But it makes sense because you have to have that good, strong base underneath you. Otherwise, you start to sell that football and miss your target.
They thought they could just run it on third and short, but this defense was there to make the stop. Clemson will send the punt team out. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. And nobody able to handle that punt. They'll let it bounce and roll out of bounds. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. And they'll make the stop, and we are headed to the end of the first period. Entertaining first quarter, and we are all locked up after one as we take a quick look at some stats. They fought to a standstill in the first. Let's see who gets the edge early in the second. The Noles trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Had the pick in his hands and couldn't hang on, and you just won't see that from him very often. It'll be third down.
In football, you hear the term quick, but don't hurry. And you can tell when you run these RPOs, the QBs want to make that decision quick. And I think he hurried it a little bit too much. Got the ball out quick, but obviously was inaccurate with his pass.
You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. Third and long from inside their own 20. Wide receiver going in motion. On third and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Active hands from the defense forcing that incomplete pass.
You know, it's funny. That's probably the most discombobulated the offense has looked so far in this game, right? After watching that incompletion there on third down, they were just up and down the field earlier. Tremendous rhythm, tremendous balance. Everything their play caller was dialing up was working, lighting up the scoreboard. And all of a sudden on this last drive, just not able to piece it together. They've got to be able to turn the page and get back to how they looked earlier in the game.
Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They got it on offense. A rather unproductive series last time, 3 and out, and they'll try to do better this time around. From the shotgun, they'll run it. And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up second and 3.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
And the Tigers with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Everybody and their brother showing blitz. They'll run it from the gun. Snowed under right at the line of scrimmage for no gain on the play.
Well, they want to come out and try to get the run game established, but up front defensively, they made a play. They gave up nothing on that one.
Got to find some breathing room if you're going to establish yourself on the ground, and there wasn't any that time.
Yeah, Reese, I wonder now if this offense is maybe going to try to get to the perimeter of the field and see if they can use their speed to hurt this defense.
Caught in the backfield, it's Davidson. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
On the move, it's Davidson. Brought down after a good pickup, and they're in the red zone at the 20.
This defense has got to get better at tackling in the open field or gang tackling, because if you need 3 or 4 guys to bring a guy down, have fun with that.
The Tigers can really attack on this second and short. Caught close to the marker, it's Jefferson. He'll go out of bounds. They'll mark him at the 16.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is, because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
Defense in press coverage. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
I know one of the things this defense really prides themselves on is being physical, and early in this game, putting a big hit on a guy that's already had a couple catches in this game, that's a good omen for the defense.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Touchdown, Tigers! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. Field shrinks, tight end grows. Big targets, big results.
I've never heard it put that way, but you're dang right. That guy is so big. A lot of times you get a DB matched up on him. He can just post him up. A linebacker, he can run by him. So that's why these tight ends are so dangerous down here in this red zone.
And the ball will make it into the end zone. No return on that one for a touchback. All right, guys, here comes the Florida State offense onto the field. They'll try to answer that last score with one of their own. A chance here to tie the game with a touchdown drive. Looking to throw, it's Glenn. Makes the grab. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37. That was a nice pickup, running the drag route and finding that quiet, soft spot in the zone.
Yeah, drag routes not only work against man coverage, they work against zone too. If you can find the soft spot and the quarterback gets it to him early, he can turn upfield, and you saw that right there.
The sure hands, it's McCoy. He stopped at the 48, a pickup of 10 on the play. They'll line up right at the 48-yard line on 1st and 10. They're going back to the ground. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line?
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Here's the handoff. Came through like a shot and knocked him down for a loss of 5.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
And it's on 3rd downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
He'll do it himself. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up.
And this option attack can lull you to sleep sometimes. I mean, just so many things they can do off of it, and you just got to play responsibility, and you got to get them on the ground and make tackles. And that was a good job limiting the damage on that play with a nice tackle.
To the air, it's Glenn. Unloads to the wideout. And they can't complete the bullet pass on 3rd down.
And money down is where you see defenses really understand where the sticks are, play great pass defense, know what's coming, and get off the field.
The Seminoles come to the line trying to convert on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. And it's incomplete, and the defense stands tall and gets off the field.
That is a great job by this defense, coming up big on 4th down when it matters the most. You could tell they were dialed in. They knew they were going to throw the football. The defense was locked in on the quarterback. Great job defending the pass, forcing the incompletion on 4th down.
Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. Took the last drive in for a touchdown. They'll try to do it again on this one. From the gun, the running back looking for room. There he goes. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a 1st down. It's a thing at Clemson to run downhill, literally, usually when they enter the stadium. But sometimes it feels like this running game's doing that.
They run down the hill, and a lot of times they don't stop, Reese, because they keep the tempo and they keep the foot on the gas, and that's what Clemson's kind of built this offense on is tempo, trying to wear you out, and they slip in the run game and the quick passing game and the running QB and so many things to look at.
Quarterback on the keeper. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Yeah, and it's a nice job by this defense understanding, listen, that QB is a threat. And they're going to run all kinds of options, and he's going to run the football. They were dialed in and got that 2nd and
8. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Sends it back in motion. 2nd down, he'll throw it. Caught in the backfield, it's Bennett. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's 3rd best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncovered.
Cacophony of noise, debilitating surround sound, the war chant on 3rd down at the dope. From the gun, wants to pass. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's coming. So Clemson is lining up to punt this one away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He'll aim it toward the sideline to try to make it tough on the return team. They'll get this drive going from the 17. Looking to throw, it's Glenn. Got rid of it quickly, but it's incomplete.
Hopefully that's not going to affect the quarterback's confidence going back to this guy later. That was a catch he should have made. He dropped it. Let's see what the QB does moving forward.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Back to pass. Snagged in the middle. It's Richardson. Brought down at the 28, but it's a 10-yard gain.
Man, this quarterback is having a first half. He's over 200 yards already, heating up, setting up. Dude, this dude might break his career high in passing. I don't know what it is. Somebody get stats for him.
Looking downfield on 1st down. Makes the grab. It's Richardson.
Yeah, I don't know defensively if you want to keep giving this guy that much cushion, because when he gets the ball in space, he's able to shake all these defenders and turns a 5-yard completion into a 1st down.
The Seminoles can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Gonna look downfield again. Got it in the middle. It's Gibson. And he's brought down after a nice gain. That big pickup on what they call the drag route, but if you hit it on time, you can hit the turbo boosters.
And you've got to be accurate on the throw too, Reese. Nice job by the QB there, putting it out in front of his receiver to make an easy catch and then advance it.
And the Seminoles have it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Fires to the middle. Fired in there, but incomplete.
Well, that's one the offense would love to have back. That's a play they practice over and over and over. They feel like they can run that play in their sleep, not able to connect there.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Dropping back, it's Glenn. Under fire. Hit as he throws.
He didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell incomplete.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. Looking for more room. The 10. Touchdown, Clemson. The defense does the work itself with a pick 6.
And that's the way you execute on offense, man. You keep your foot on the gas. You try to make this a 2-score game. You do with that touchdown. This offense executing beautifully. The defense is going to have to find something in the 2nd half to get some stops.
No reason to risk trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Dances away to buy time. Great job by this savvy senior to know when he just needs to move the sticks with his feet. We got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Wants to throw on 1st down. Grabbed over the middle. It's Richardson. He stopped at the 48, a pickup of 10 on the play. The offense will quickly use a timeout. They've come out with answers on this possession, and now another first down. Use the play fake, now to throw. He fires to the left side. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it.
Man, if you're going to win games, you have got to hit on the home run type plays, and that was a great opportunity right there. The receiver has got to be able to look that football in and make the catch.
He put it out there for him, and the senior gave him a chance, but they couldn't make the connection.
Well, they're trying to attack the middle of the field. That time the ball a little too high for his wide receiver, and it falls incomplete.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Back to throw, it's Glenn. Oh, he's going to try to hit him deep. It's caught. They finally get to him. What a play there to pick up the first down. Clock stops momentarily for the first down. They'll hurry to the line. They're in the red zone, and they'll pass it. Fires to the wideout. It's complete. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Just about set to get this second half underway. Looks like a penalty on the kickoff as the ball goes out of bounds. Secondary walks up on the line, showing press coverage. To the air on first down. Got it behind the line. It's Davidson. At the 35, he's loose. Wide room to the right. Touchdown, Tigers. Once he got some room, it was over. They've got the lead and trying to put this one in a hammerlock here in Week 10. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in the American. Tulane is trailing right now, but it's only a couple of points. That quarterback just needs to show the poise of a young Sean King, and they are right back in this. It's just a field goal game. They're trailing by 3 to UAB. We'll circle back if anything big happens in this clash in the American you should know about.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Linebackers shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a read. From the shotgun, the inside give. He gets nothing, and they're staying stubborn with this running game, but at some point you're going to have to change your thought process.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising. We talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going. And I'm surprised, but now what's your counterpunch? How are you going to get the ground game going? Because so far, not a lot of success.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
Back to throw, it's Glenn. Caught over the middle, it's Richardson. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
On the snap, it's Gibson. They get him on the ground, but it'll be enough for the first down, and they might mark that down to use the Wildcat again. In their own territory, but completely undaunted as they go for it and make it on fourth down.
And it's crazy. I don't even think you have a second thought anymore. Even in your own side of the field, like, what, I'm going to have bad field position? Nah, I don't really care. We're going to go for it. We're going to play the numbers. We're going to be aggressive.
Knocked out of bounds after a good gain on that one. They'll spot it at the 43.
You can tell this quarterback did his homework coming into this game. He has been dissecting this defense with his arm and his mind. Over 300 yards passing now.
Wants to go up top on first down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
This defense has a lot of speed, especially in the secondary, and you saw that speed. That defender got to that receiver so quick, and because of the hit, incomplete pass.
Behind the chains now on second and long. Wants to go up top. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a first down at the 31.
That's a really good-looking throw there. And I think about back in my day playing for the Gators, we were known as having this high-octane passing attack with Steve Spurrier, but every time we played the Seminoles and Chris Wenke, who, of course, would go on to win a Heisman Trophy, we knew that we were going to have to be executing at a high level. This guy right here, when he gets going and he gets into a groove, he just does not miss. He is able to light up the scoreboard for the Seminoles.
He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection.
Well, a nice job by the defense. They're playing with a big lead. They know the offense has to throw it, and they are inviting throws over the middle of the field, knowing they can break on these passes and maybe pick one off. Offense lucky that wasn't a turnover.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Wants to throw again. It's incomplete and maybe a little too aggressive from this senior trying to fit that one in there.
All right, you got to be careful here if you're the quarterback, right? Back-to-back incompletions. You've had a nice drive. You're still in field goal range, though. Think about this. You cannot take a sack. That has got to be what the play caller is reminding his quarterback about in the headsets right now. If it's not there, throw this thing away because we've got a chance to at least get 3 points here.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. Third and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.